We made it to the end of season 2 of Transform Perspective. It has been a long journey. Doing this podcast and just being able to do a season 2, having the time, having the energy. And I am really proud of myself, of you, of anyone who has just been really learning about themselves and putting in that work to take out time to figure out, what's going on in the inner world and strike a balance. Even if you're still working on it, even if you're still learning, that's okay. You wanting to take out the time to do better for you and to live a better life is amazing. So, congratulations. We made it to the end of season 2. Season 1 has 20 episodes that are still up and available. And season 2, all of these episodes will be available as well, even though we are wrapping up this season. Before I get more into this last episode, don't forget to subscribe to Transform Perspective. The goal is still 1K subscribers. I am so grateful for where I am right now, but I just always want to strive for more, for better, and to grow and to have a community of people who are, living their life and wanting to do better for themselves and just share their perspective, share what they've learned, and just grow together and commit to that within themselves and within a community. So definitely subscribe, check out some of my other episodes and some of my other content, as well as my Etsy shop. I have my 3-part self-reflection guided journal called Guided Mind. It is on my Etsy shop. It is physical and digital. And then I also have some other products as well. So definitely stay tuned. I will be working more on my business relevance and on my Etsy shop and really growing in that area of my life. So definitely stay tuned for that and content in regards to my journals and so much more. It's been, like I said, it's been a journey. I really have been enjoying all the different topics that I've kind of talked about this season. We talked about self-care rituals, how to stay strong during change or during challenges and hard times. We've talked about, connecting with nature, having self-compassion, especially with healing, really looking at the inner world, the mind, your mental health, spiritual well-being, and emotional intelligence, how to work through these things that are going on inside, the things that we can often forget about because we don't see them. It's the unseen world. It's the inner stuff. So really taking out time to tend to yourself in these different ways. And so we've covered a lot of that this season. And so if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. And if you have listened to these episodes, how are you doing? What really stuck with you? What resonated with you? What are you continuing to do? And how is it working for you? Do you feel like you found that balance within yourself? I know for me, I feel like I've improved. I definitely think I'm at a place where I am ready to just stay consistent with what I've been learning and just be compassionate with myself. But I definitely feel like I am more balanced where I am now compared to when I was starting this season. Part of that balance, I think, is sharing the different things that I'm trying as far as my mental health, emotional intelligence, and my spiritual well-being. Sharing those things, creating content, posting it, and continuously showing up has really helped me when it comes to my inner balance and my inner world. Years ago, I feel like I always have cared for myself and tried to take out that time for me. But at the same time, I think there's been a big change compared to where I am now in comparison to where I was years ago. And I know in the last episode, we talked about reflecting on our growth and transformation. And I think that really ties into this last episode as well, because I'm still reflecting on that and really just trying to take out the time to just pause and see how far I've come. Being able to put yourself out there in any way, not even just for posting content or being on social media, even in the ways that you're not showing other people. It's really important to recognize that. Even the stuff that people don't see you doing, it's important for you to just reflect on that and know that you are doing things and you are amazing and you are growing and you're doing the best you can. And so having compassion for yourself as you are healing or as you are experiencing new things and just going through day-to-day life is truly important. And so with this last episode, I'm really focusing on how do I integrate everything that I spoke about in each episode and everything that I've been learning in this season of my life, and how do I move forward? That is my biggest thing right now, is moving forward into the next chapter, taking what I've learned, the experiences that I've had, integrating it, embodying it, and showing up as my highest self, as my healthiest self, and really just striking balance with that. Not being too far on the positive, not being too, far on the negative, but really, being here in the now. And I think that's the biggest thing that I really wanted to learn and set intentions in, is being present in the here and now, especially coming from a background of anxiety and just kind of being so much in my head and feeling stuck, always being in the past, dwelling on what was, or being in the future, worrying about what's coming up and what's going to happen and what I'm going to do. My biggest goal, especially with this entire podcast and me just creating content or creating my business, and most importantly, when it comes to this season, was really establishing that balance and being present. Because for me, finding that balance in my inner world was being grateful and present with now. What am I doing right now? Where am I? Who am I? And can I accept that? Can I be grateful for who I am and where I am? And so that has been the biggest thing for me. And I would say that I have integrated a lot of that, a lot of what I've learned, but I'm still learning, and I'm still learning to find that balance and what that looks like for me. I know when I started this, I'm like, ooh, I don't even know what the balance feels like. But for me, it's just being here with today. What's going on right now? Who am I? And really learning to be okay with that. Not settling, but accepting, and being grateful. I think that was a big part of my life that I was missing, is the gratitude. Always constantly looking at what's coming up next, or looking in the future, or what I need to do in the next moment, but not living in this moment, or like I said, being in the past and having a hard time letting go of what was, how things were, who I was, but now being in a place where I'm ready to accept who I am now and where I am, and be open for what's to come. I'm just open for what life has for me. And to me, that is more balanced than, where I was before. So definitely share in the comments where you are when it comes to your own journey, your lifestyle, where you are, who you are, what you've learned about yourself, and what does balance look like for you? As we're wrapping up this season, I think that's something I'm really excited to hear from other people, not just myself, but hearing what balance means for other people. This could be, your work life, career, finance. This could be your personal life with friends and family. This could just be with your own self-care routine and you learning about yourself. What does that balance look like? Do you feel like you have really integrated the things that you've learned over this past year, since 2024 has started? Let me know in the comments, or just write that down and journal it. If you don't feel like you're in a place to share, at least journal it and reflect on it within yourself, because that's how we grow. That's how we move forward. I think you have to address the things of the past. You have to address how far you've come in order to grow and move forward. I don't think you can move forward invalidating your past or not being able to look back at your growth. Like I said, this kind of ties into episode 19, but yeah, definitely reflect, look back, see how you have integrated what you've learned in your day-to-day life. How is that showing up, in your life? For me, it's been less worrying, less being on my phone. Of course, these are habits that I still have, but I feel myself doing it less and also being open for new things. I've tried a lot of new things and I've documented it, wrote it down, journaled it, and shared it with you guys along the way. Every day is a journey. Every day, this present moment, this here and now is a new experience. And so just having room for that, less expectations, less worries about it, less fear, less attachment to it, and more openness, more surrender. and just allowing things to be as they are, because there's only now and life is temporary. I think that's been the biggest lesson this season for me, is realizing that, everything is temporary, and it's okay to keep catching yourself in these old habits and these old ways, because the more you catch yourself doing the old things, the more you're realizing that you're doing it. There's awareness in that. And so you don't have to beat yourself up with it. You can be compassionate as you're healing, as you're learning, as you're waking up each and every day and just living life and discovering what that means for you and how to find balance in that, so just doing it in your own way and having patience for yourself. Definitely take the things that you have learned, not only from these episodes, but in your life, and take steps forward in your own way at your own pace. We talked about comparison this season as well. And so I think that's another big thing, is just remembering that your path, the lane that you're in, is special and unique for you. You're not here to live anybody else's life. And just be patient with yourself as you're learning and integrating the things that you have learned. I am wrapping up this season, and I will definitely let you guys know if I will continue with a season 3, if I'm going to revamp things, change anything. But for now, I feel like I'm in a place where I'm ready to kind of focus more on my business, and sharing that content, and maybe even going in a new direction with my YouTube channel, with my life, with where I am. And so as I take this time to kind of rest and figure it out, I would definitely come back around and make sure that I update y'all. But this is the end of season 2, and I would love to get your feedback on what you liked about these episodes, what you like about my content. Is there anything that you think I could improve in or change when it comes to content, or just some of the advice and things that I've been sharing? If you have any suggestions of your own, feel free to share that. I'm really big in just sharing what we're learning and just being able to not only talk about myself, but hear about other people. So if you have a YouTube channel as well, or you're doing something new in your life and you want to share it, I'll definitely check it out and make sure that I'm supporting as well, because it is a community effort. I feel like my perspective, my awareness, how I look at myself and life has definitely changed throughout this process. And I think that's why I wanted to start this podcast, why I wanted to share and post, no matter who's watching, no matter if nobody's watching, being able to just do something that I want to do in my heart and grow in that process, learn in that process, and allow my perspective, my awareness to change. Sometimes we think we know it all or we have it all together, and we really don't. And so being able to put yourself out there, step out of your comfort zone, and be open to what life has for you, or the things that you can learn, or the perspective shifts, that can happen, is truly the main part of you evolving as a human and growing, is being open, for what life has for you. And I think this was my way of taking action in that, is starting Transform Perspective, having a season 1, having a season 2, starting a business, creating content, and just playing and flowing with life, sharing and learning as I go. Thank you so much for tuning in to Transform Perspective. If you haven't checked out any of my other episodes, feel free to do so. I have so much other free content. Definitely like this video if you enjoyed it. Share in the comments, like I said, or email me. Make sure you reflect and journal and do what is best for you, for your mental, spiritual, and emotional well-being. And if you are looking for more, other than just this content or these episodes, if you're interested in anything else that I'm creating and doing, I do have my Etsy shop, my new business Relevance, where I'm creating products that tie into what I've been talking about in these seasons and in my content, which is taking care of you, your emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. And so I'm creating products to kind of assist you and aid you in that process, as well as myself, and just taking steps and doing what's best for you and what's best for you in your life, and learning what that looks like. So definitely check out those products if you're interested. And yeah, that's about it for this season. That's about it for this episode. Remember, it is not about perfection, but committing to expansion. Have a transformed perspective. I'll definitely keep you guys updated on what's to come next. But yeah, I'm out.